When visiting Mauna Kea, be sure to stop at the Visitor Information Station at 9,200 feet before going to the summit. Rangers are there with weather updates, road conditions, and safety advice for the travelers. Also stationed at VIS are interpretive guides with free safety pamphlets and information about the summit area. VIS is a great place to acclimatize to the altitude before going any higher. A stay of half an hour or more is advised. While waiting, you can take in the fascinating displays, explore interactive computer screens, watch a film about the mountain, or visit the gift shop. The area surrounding VIS is usually referred to as Hale Pohaku, or House of Stone. During the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps built 2 stone cabins for visitors and hunters. And with today's observatories, Hale Pohaku is now the site of a modern mid-level facility for astronomers and telescope staff. Even in ancient times, Mauna Kea attracted travelers willing to brave freezing cold, rocky slopes, and thin air. Clad in tapa cloth and tea leaf cloaks, Hawaiians mined the adze quarries and placed altars near the work sites. The first Western visitor, missionary Joseph Goodrich, hiked to the summit in 1823. An account of his trip said he dismissed his native companion and, taking his great coat and blanket, began to ascend the more steep and rugged parts. The way was difficult. The trip got a little easier when horses were introduced to Hawaii. In 1830, Kauikeaoli, Kamehameha III, rode to Lake Waiau and frolicked in the snow. Visits by Hawaiian royalty were memorable occasions and showed their connection to this sacred place. In 1882, Queen Emma journeyed from Waimea to the summit. By the 1800s, wild goats and sheep began to attract hunters and cowboys to the area. Often they would serve as guides for scientists and dignitaries. While the trip to the summit is much easier today, the rapid ascent is more likely to produce altitude sickness. And improper driving technique leads to overheated brakes when descending. For a successful trip, please follow our safety guidelines. The John A. Burns Highway is the only road to the summit. It is steep and narrow, and unpaved in places. Especially dangerous are the switchbacks just above Hale Pohaku, where the gravel road ascends quickly. A 4-wheel drive vehicle is highly recommended. Remember to fill the tank in town before coming here, because gasoline is not available on the mountain. Use low range, low gear, and be observant of changing road conditions. If you encounter road grading equipment at work, move to the scraped side of the road and out of the way. You're going to need a vehicle that can clear the temporary ridge in the center of the road. Obey all the signs, including the posted speed limit of 25 miles per hour in most places. Keep your vehicle on the road or in designated parking areas. Going off-road is not only hazardous, but can damage rare plants, animal habitats, and cultural sites. If a fog moves in, use your headlights so other drivers can see you. As you approach the top, there will be panoramic views and impressive telescope facilities. But be sure to keep an eye out for pedestrians and sightseers like yourself. At times, there can be quite a crowd at the summit. When you're ready to head downhill, be aware that many accidents happen during the return trip. Using low range, low gear, and driving at slower speeds will reduce overheating and failure of your brakes. You may have felt fine at VIS, but at 13,796 feet, there is only 60% of normal air pressure, and many visitors suffer from the altitude. Some of the symptoms include shortness of breath, increased rate of breathing, headaches, dehydration, disorientation, poor judgment, drowsiness, loss of balance and coordination, nausea or vomiting, and flu-like symptoms. If you notice any symptoms, leave the summit area immediately. For some people, altitude sickness can be life-threatening, and going to lower elevations is the best remedy. Remember, medical facilities are not available on the summit. After a heavy snowfall, Mauna Kea appears picture-perfect from below. Looking to play in the snow, the number of visitors increases dramatically, but so do vehicular accidents and personal injuries. There are hidden rocks under the fresh snow, and the roads become more dangerous. Even a relatively nice day can change quickly on Mauna Kea, so always be prepared for winter storms and high winds. For your general safety, some basic guidelines include: spend 1/2 hour or more at VIS before going up. Drink plenty of water before and during your trip. Have warm winter clothing available because below freezing temperatures are common. Eat a reasonable amount before ascending, but don't overeat. Protect your skin from UV radiation with sunscreen, a hat, and protective clothing. Wear sunglasses with UV protection. You should not ascend if you are under 16 years old, pregnant, or severely overweight, suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, heart or respiratory conditions. And while at high altitudes, do not physically exert yourself, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, or hike alone. If you're planning to hike, please check in with a ranger or VIS staff. They can help you and have information for hikers and recreational visitors. When walking, we ask that you stay on the trails and do not disturb any rocks or arrangement of rocks. They could be precious archaeological sites. Also, do not disturb or tread on any plants or animals. Mauna Kea is home to rare species and fragile ecosystems that can be easily damaged. For those who prefer to be driven by a professional tour guide, there are several licensed companies with daily trips to the summit. And on the weekends, the VIS has free tours for independent drivers with suitable vehicles. When it gets dark, VIS rolls out their telescopes. See for yourself how Mauna Kea's skies are unbelievably clear. A visit to Mauna Kea can be one of your most memorable trips. The VIS staff, volunteers, and Mauna Kea Rangers are here to help you stay safe and enrich your trip. Leave nothing behind and take only your photographs and the spirit and grandeur of Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea kuahiwi ku ha'oi ka mālie. Mauna Kea is the astonishing mountain that stands in the calm.